Testing, testing, testing. Okay. Guys, we are back for another live stream. And this time we'll be doing a banner talk. Now let me say that we are live here on our Discord server. We are live. We are live for banner talk. That's it. I just placed some music. Hello, Space Paprika. Copy, scene. I just have to fix a little thing here. I would try to apply a filter that will remove part of the screen just so that I can see the people chat as well. Okay, with that we have the screen removed. And now the chat box be sent here. Have to fix this. Reduce a little bit of the size. Size will be around 550. And then maybe 600. Yeah, feels like good. Now we have a working chat screen, and we have also a working browser. I see more people here. Rainstorm, David Allwood, Dog, Permanent Bennett, All in a Hall, huh? Yeah, Rio Sharkin Point and chat. No, I have difficulty doing two things at once. Dog has gens, he always has. Permanent Bennett is here saying poop. Microtron says, this was a banner I was on, share, but I'm waiting on you to see if they are worth pulling for. I did some checking on some time ago, but I'll actually talk about all banners together with you all. Copy says, I kind of wish this was a banner that I really don't care. You don't have gens. I don't have many gens as well, friend. So thanks once more. Hands43 made a post. He even made a comparison to JP. At first he didn't because he didn't have enough time, but then he just edited the post. So we have 4 characters on each banner. I was expecting them to maybe add a 5th character because they skipped a minstrel song banner from a lot of time ago. They had another version of Albert. Another version of Claudia. That's not really a minstrel song banner, but it had Albert. It also had Claudia in the past. They also skipped the dragon. Starlight Orbit says, I was thinking they would move these banners up. Glad you saved it. I was expecting these banners for Anniversary. He said multiple times. Either those banners or the 7 Heroes banner. This banner would be better to start Anniversary with, but maybe they didn't think about anything that would make them so special. Uni banner is actually very nice, and well, even if this has 4 characters on each banner, I don't know if it's better. We'll be checking and talking about it all in a few. But I can already say that a Hawk banner is better. My experience. Goddess is excellent. Finally, yes, Sing. Finally have to agree. You know that I am not truly attached to characters. I don't have bias, even if some people say I do. If I had bias, I would say to pull for the bad Al-Kaiser. I pull it myself alone. Chair's gonna go crazy over. You still say that I'm a fan of Albert. I don't know where you got this from. I'm not a fan of Albert. I even think he's a little generic. I just used him a lot when he had a good style that used left fork on turn 1. He was very useful for farming as well. I don't have any attachment for Albert. I never play with Albert. I never started minstrel song with Albert. You got all wrong. Michael Turner says, the only reason why I want to pull for this banner is because you are a huge fan of minstrel song. Remember when you were streaming RS1, you were like, here's Sith. Ah, Sith was rescuing Albert. I think I kind of started with Albert just for once, just to see what would happen, I don't know. But I never played it too far. So are the banners bad? We will be discussing this. They are not really bad. Like, it's hard to have bad banners. When we do, it's Halloween banners. So we already have 30 people here, guys. I think it's enough to start discussing the banner. Especially because we were starting with Albert. And, okay, they did try to change Albert and make him better. Who with the flurry hate? I think that's the game you had, Aisha. Barbara? No. I did had Barbara. Aisha, no. I played with Claudia. The girl with the animals. You want Sith? I heard she's OP. She's pretty strong, but she's on the wrong banner, sadly. Hello, Ashes Fall Down. Welcome. Play with Claudia and her two animals. Yes. So, I will start talking about Albert then. Let's talk about Albert. Well, Albert is a Leon wannabe, but much less interesting. And you can see that he has just 100% endurance and will, although he needed to be much better than this. 120% STR, clearly a lack of focus. He has intelligence as well because he has one spell that does not even have damage. I don't know why they gave him so much intelligence. Really don't know. But then this guy here, he is a support for some squads, and he is inferior to Empress as a support. If you want to bring a leader, that is. And he cannot beat Leon because of many reasons. Although you look in this description and there's way too many things going on, right? But no, they could not fix this guy. First of all, he does have a little bit of everything. Turn begins, he gives this heat up 15%, 3 times for all allies, so 45 free damage increase for everyone. And then 3 stacks of defense up. That's what Beauty takes 10 turns to give. And then he gets 1 BP. So, 1 BP on turn begins, and then, yeah, that's it. But now, this is good. They improve it from 5% to 10% defense up. But that's it. On S3 lens, I'll be talking about this later. This is more important to talk later. Yes, better to talk about this later. I really don't understand this defense boost small effect, very huge chance. Defense boost small effect, very huge chance. 2 times? Very huge and huge. Ah, okay. Okay. It has 2 different triggers. I have to check JP just to be sure, but I guess that's the case. It just has 2 triggers. Also, maybe this screen is a little confusing for you all. This way, you still won't be able to see everything. Let's see if you can see everything. It's like this. No. But what if I move a little more? Yeah, it's better to see the skills than the art or anything. Let me go to... he needs intelligence so that he can IQ. We don't use that type of thing anymore, my friend. Albert. Let me recheck this thing. Oh, I cannot scroll the... Also, it didn't get translated. UniverSe Grey is worth pulling for as well. Considering JP not, because they get other styles that also increases slash damage. Let me see here. When... blah blah blah. After activating Luminous Shock. Guarantee. And chance, and then chance. Yes, that's the case. Yeah, that's the case. So, whoa, wrong page. When he uses his skill number 3, this skill here is kind of strange. Well, it is a fast skill that before attacking, it will grant this Cloth of Light 2 turns for all allies. And then he will guarantee 1 defense boost small effect, have a chance 50% to cast another, and then a 37% chance to cast yet another. So remember Katarina that had 2 or 3 hits of small effect? So this guy has just 1, 2 or 3 hits, but the RNG is worse here. It's much worse. But what is this Cloth of Light, right? Cloth of Light is when you land a sun attack, you buff your will by 15%. Just that. And then you buff your ailment resistance. This could be better, but that's okay. And then you apply a defense boost of medium effect to yourself. Medium, we check it on GP, is actually just 20%. So your character has to be fast, and Albert himself has fast, right? But look at his agility. Just 100%. So if you have two fast attackers, like you are using Leon and Albert together, if Leon goes before Albert, he does not take advantage of this. Because this is, well, doesn't take advantage on the first turn. On the second, yes. The good thing is that you can stack this 2 times. You can use one after another if you have enough PP generation. So you're going to buff your will twice. You're going to buff your aimant resistance twice. You're going to apply 2 stacks of 20% defense boost if you attack after Albert. And that's it. This other part here is from a different passive, right? When Albert's attacked, he will buff SGR Dexter, Agility, and Intelligence to all by 5%. And on attack boost 10%, volley, stacks, and lasts for 2 turns to all. And 2 BP. Let me just check if that's what it says on JP, because sometimes I get confused. Low robe. Just to himself. Yeah, when attacked, buffs status 5%. Grants himself an attack boost. No, this is all to the same passive. Let me just check this again. Long rope to all allies. And then attacking with Sun recovers 2 BP. Let me check this again, because sometimes it's just so confusing. Because this here has break. I thought it was separated. But no, this is still under... Yeah, because it's all of this. Okay, so he will cast this 5% buff to offensive status and attack boost. Yes. But what is the difference about this and Leon? Leon buffs all status, including defensive status, by 5%. You can get to up to 10% when hit via Albert, but it's just the offensive part. You can get will when you are attacking, but not when you are attacked. And you still have to guarantee that you are bringing Sun units. See how he's clashing with some stuff? And then, when you land a Sun attack, you get 2 BP. But this is just to himself, I guess, because there's a break here. Yeah, there's a break here. So what he guarantees to the people is, if they use Sun attacks, they will buff Sun and ailment resistance. And then the defense boost to themselves. So, need a full Sun squad. And then when they are hit, it doesn't matter by which type of attack, they will buff SGR Dexter, Agility, and Intelligence by 5%, and then an attack boost of 10%. Sun attack gives 2 BP, but this is not related to the everything else, because this is just to himself. Yeah, that part I checked on JP. See, it's outside the effect. So, let me check the chat here to see if I'm mistaken. I want to see Gray is worth pulling for as well. Is that the new Robo-K share that is coming to Global soon? I don't know about soon, but probably. Hey Arthur, welcome. Goddess, consider Albert. No. He needs Demonica formation. Would also need that, but the effects are not that great to guarantee that formation. Teron says I still have jewels left over. If I skip this banner, I'll be saving a lot of gems. I don't know what to do, Cher. I really want to pull on this banner. Wait for the final opinions then. Hands updated the Reddit post to show differences in bold. Yes, you can see here, this is new. But they still have to attack with Sun to trigger this effect. Sun attack lands. And they buffed the defense up from 5 to 10%. Besides all of this, he has a 40% damage increase at all times and 30% damage reduction. And then he has the same skills that Sirius has, but without the extra effects from Sirius' passive. Guard up large, decreases damage taken by 35%. And you should use this only once every 3 turns. And by the end of a turn, you're going to apply a very small healing. This tries to make him a little closer to Leon, because Leon always has healing. He heals when he attacks, and also by the end of turn, if you cast twice, you have 3 very small healings that usually is enough to keep you alive. He doesn't have as much, it's just 1 very small healing, and you don't want to keep using this skill. You use it once, and then you keep using that skill tree. Yeah. So what does he miss from Leon? BP generation is missed. Guarantee buff on start of turn. And extra healing. Leon does almost everything else that Albert can do. Albert can instead give you a little more defense boost and the ailment resistance buff. But you need to bring sun units. See that he is capping you to some certain specimens, some characters that have sun attacks, and then he does not generate BP. And you will not be using them together because they barely do any type of damage. They are pretty weak. Hello, Leon. What are you talking about? We're talking about a new banner. Can I ask you who's the best character who will remove the buff to the enemy? You've got some problems on Spiral. There are plenty of units that do buff break now. Well, it's hard to explain to you right now. I think you should join our Discord server. There's just so many. So many. The best one, ScherBR can do it. Even Acelus can do it. Even Hannibal can buff break now. Even Selma can buff break. There's not just the best one. It's situational, depending on the type of element you want to bring. The most famous one is still ScherBR, I believe. Your favorite one is Sirius. Sirius is not that popular, but he's a good one also. So the problem with Albert is that he's competing for a full support slot that barely does damage. And that slot is usually filled by Leon. And Leon is a real healer, while Albert is not. Leon also heals so much because he buffs all status, including love and charisma. And when you are hit, you also buff your all status. And not just 4, like Albert. See? That's the biggest difference between them. If Albert had better damage or something, then it would explain why would someone use him. But there's no reason. You know, not even with buffs. You're going to get a little more defenses though. This guard up large is 35% damage reduction alongside the 10%, maybe 2 times 10% guarantees. But you have to remember something here. Even Jorg, I feel it's better than Albert, to be honest. Because he has a better guarantee defense boosts. Let's look at what Leon does. So, Leon already decreases damage taken by 30% at all times. This, let's say, compares to the 3 stacks of 10% reduction from Albert. But from Albert, it's less because when you have 3 stacked 10%, it's lower than 30. But then okay. And start of turn, Leon buffs 20% of everything. While Albert has to... characters on Albert squad has to attack with Sun. And Leon gives BP to everyone. While Albert doesn't. Then Albert also gives you defense boost. This one here from Leon is when people are healing. Yes. When we attack, every status is buffed by 5. Okay, forget about the recovery part. It's not really important from Leon. Leon can generate lots of BP when using Merciful Light. I do use this a lot. And... well, he already heals at least twice per turn and sometimes 3 times per turn. So that's... much better than Albert. I would say that the reason why people will want to use Albert if they want a little more defense boost, but they will sacrifice all the other things like the better BP generation and healing in trade of ailment resistance and a little more defense boost. I don't think it's worth a trade. Leon does not have IQ though. Leon does not have IQ. Leon passively heal 1k to everyone with little BP. Yeah. That's right. Because when he uses Imperial Sun's Word, he already grants 2 of very small healings. And his Chase already heals as well. If you have Imperial Sun's Word every turn, well, you're going to have 3 very small healings per turn. They're already buffed by his own mechanics. He can heal like 1,800 per turn easily. And if you cannot use Imperial Sun's Word because of BP, you just use Merciful Light. You're never gonna use skill 1 with this guy. Hardly, if ever. So, on Leon in Global is even better because of global changes to the second skill, Merciful Light. That's why I don't think Albert is good. If you got Leon, and if you haven't, I don't know, maybe even what I was saying, Jorg is an option. Jorg also barely does damage, but there's one good thing about Jorg, is that he can even improve more defenses via being attacked. But he already gives defense boost and a guard up, as you can see here. The guard up is through himself. Defense boost 15%, but this is a guaranteed chase, and you can keep using this skill to have 2 defense boosts. While Albert has just RNG chance to apply more defense boost, this guy guarantees 4 defense boosts in 2 turns. Yes. He can also cover, and when he's hit, he buffs a lot of stuffs. And I mean, even Jorg is not that good. I'm saying that Albert is on the same levels as Jorg, kinda. And you don't need 2 of them. Niall says, what's the best banner to pull if you're just started? The Rerun banner, I just posted a video about Neil. Go check it out. So, first character discussed is Albert, and I don't think he's worth pulling. Especially if you already have Leon, and if you don't, you can even just skip him entirely. If you already have Leon and Impress even, totally forget about him. Leon and Impress or Matriarch, forget even further. Leon says, Jorg, Bear, and Leon of the recent banners are very good for the longevity of the party. Yes, but you hardly can use them 3 together, right? Octo is asking if all are skip. Not exactly. Someone just mentioned it on my video that I didn't mention Paulus. If that's the case, it's a crime. He was on my list. I probably skipped his name by accident. Let me add this as a pinned comment. Guys, I miss it on Paulus. Yes, I miss it on Paulus. Let me just type this here on pinned comment. I forgot to mention Paulus. He is a first grade character to choose as well as the second best debuffer in the game right now. That's true. He was on the list. I probably skipped it in without noting. This happens sometimes. This happens. The 2 Earth Dragon fights are cleared. Yay. Nice. Congratulations. Just Sith and maybe Jamu on the banner. Really? What do you all think about Albert, guys? Do you think I missed it on something? Who is better than Paulus? Aselus. Swords have many good styles, so it's a pass for you. Yeah, Albert, just Albert, right? We need to talk about some other stuff. Have I pinned a comment? Yes, I have. What's up, everyone? Okay, I think we should move on from Albert now. And there is Sith, right? Sith is actually pretty good, and sadly she competes with Kihachi, but they try to make her look better. She's the best damage dealer for Remembrance now, for Axe weapons. So they buffed her STR, now 136, pretty high. The highest one in the game is 140 from Kihachi. Endurance is nice, we have here 110%. And we 110% as well. Buffing agility to 100. Very good buffs to status though. She has intelligence, I don't know why. Probably to land paralyze or something. Okay, she starts the fight with 14 BP, and when attacking, gets 1 extra BP. And when OD or weak attack lands, she self-debuffs. This is similar to what they did to Summer Threes. Large effect, I don't know what large effect is to debuff, but it should be 15% or 20. Is Albert good for new players? For new players. A lot of his skills work for Sun units. He's a Sun leader. Hard to use him. I feel like he's not as good for new players. Should wait another one. So this SGR debuff large effect, I don't know how good is that. I mean, how bad is that? Because she debuffs herself. Let me see here. Sith, if JP has the information. 15%. 15%. That's hardly anything. You can see that they even buffed her STR by 8%. So you're actually losing just 7% compared to JP. Because it cuts from this value. So she activates her skill tree twice. And that is crazy because skill tree, it's a 14 VP skill already. So that is 4 hits of E power. And each hit will apply defense down, 10% defense reduction for that turn on each hit. So 8 follow-ups with E power. Of course, when you consider just Kihachi alone, there's a problem here. Kihachi has an 8-hit E power attack. And when you use Laceration, she has a 37% chance to decrease the defense of the enemy by 35. 35 by 35. You could theoretically say that it's also similar to 10% per hit. You could say, to simplify things. So, Kihachi does not self-debuff, and she also chases with 8 hits of E-Power. See, overall, this Sith is reaching the potential of 1 chase of Kihachi. 1. Kihachi chases twice. I'm just talking about the start here, but even then, with just this amount of power, she's the strongest X unit. She has 20% damage increase. And then, okay, OG attack also increases attack boost. In this case, it will be 20%. And then a defense boost to all allies. This one is 25%. We check it on JP, it's not 35. It's nice because, well, it's for everyone. And then Spirit of Balhar Tribe. This is what? 25 points of OG Gauge and 1 BP. Clears on ailments and attribute buffs. Attribute debuffs to self. That's not really great, but okay, 25 points of OG to allow her to get to OG faster. This guarantee OG part here is just so that if you want to use her for neutral content, because landing weak already triggers the same thing. It's kind of like the first Kihachi. But the last Kihachi can chase 2 times with 8 hits on overdrive like the first, but on normal turns she can chase with 8 hits after she triggers her mechanics. But the thing here mostly is she has this weak heat up that will make her stronger than Kihachi. So her 8 hits will probably do around 40 to 50% more damage than 1 8 hit from Kihachi. But then again, like I said, she can actually do 16 as a chase. I don't know. Then the second skill has morale up, very large. That will be 50% increasing damage, I guess. Or 40 for 5 turns. And then activates Dangerous Spin. Double S, Power Roll, Slashing Blood. Made for Spiral 270 again. And then after that, you have this morale up for 5 turns and you can use the skill tree. Leon says, I kind of have 100 of sword users, all good. Sag, I don't have the same amount of staff for bow users. Also, because you can actually use the skill tree as your main command for Sith, and then she chases 2 times, all of those using this defense down. It shortens the distance to Kihachi, and Kihachi does not have anything to the party. Besides her latest style that can give heat up, yes, I know. But defense boost is nice. For new players, I think the Sith is amazing because they lost Kihachi anyway. And Slash and Cold. Two different elements. For Kihachi owners, barely any reason to go for Sith unless you want to use her own remembrance because she is the strongest damage dealer there. Kihachi has Laceration too. No, yeah, I discussed it about Laceration, saying that Laceration is 35% chance to apply a 35% debuff, and her is 10% debuff with a guarantee. Calculations will say that they are very similar, the part that decreases damage. But in the case of Sith, she's doing that all the time. Kihachi has to either overdrive or use her skill 2 from the first style. But generally, Kihachi is like 2 times stronger than any other damage dealer in the game. If Sith gets like 50% of Kihachi damage, is already amazing. Applegun says, a few use word to have a lot of good styles in a more column. Yeah. What do you say about Sith, J-Prac? And you can use them together as well. Much like you can also use Silver and then use 4 News. If you run 4 News, Silver, and Sith together, it's already a lot of damage. You can even try to fuel Kihachi together, but I don't think you're gonna survive unless you have something very crazy. Which is good best of them all, in your opinion. I feel like she's going to do 50 to 60% of the damage of Kihachi. But like I said, Kihachi is like double times any damage dealer in the game. That is already very good. I don't know if Sith is going to do more damage than Silver average. I feel like she's going to be similar to Silver, but without the debuff and buff part. But she has this defense boost on overdrive. But the thing is, she may beat Silver because she has constant damage. It's just 8 hits of follow-ups every turn. This is kind of similar to what you get with Tatiana as well. But she deals more damage than Tatiana. Yeah, if you consider that she deals more damage than Tatiana already, she's amazing. More damage than Tatiana. More damage than Neon. More damage than Silver, I'm sure. Even when you consider that Silver has a very strong turn every 4 turns, the average, when you consider all 4, cannot beat Sith. You God is also a good contender of the best damage dealer in the game. With the gimmick, yeah. Mumu says, poor Tachi, haven't used her in a long time. The thing is, Tachi is a club user and the best damage dealer there, while Sith will be the best damage dealer for Axis. So there's that. She doesn't have much BP though. On Remembrance, she's not going to use her skill 3 all the time. She even have difficulty too. Look, attack lands, 1 BP. And then BP by 1 on overdrive. So she gets 6 BP per turn. And then 7 and she enters overdrive. Is that right? Yes. This effect is not really great. Just gave it the extra BP. Overall, let me see how much OG she gets by use of skill tree. Just 3 points? Whew. Six VP per turn. AoE slash and cold. Roll. Yeah, kind of like Tatiana as well. She has to use a lot of BP to keep using skill tree. She's forced not to use OG, while this one wants to use OG. But she's better than Tatiana overall. She gives a defense boost to everyone. Defense down also helps everyone else do more damage, while Tatiana just gets attack boost, so she becomes stronger but not the party. And this weak heat up is 200%. So I'll say she's probably doing around 50 to 60% of the damage of Kihachi. Or even higher than that. It's hard to calculate because there are just so many things that should be considered. But yeah, very strong damage dealer. I believe she is probably deserving a 4.5. I'm not so sure. Very strong. But you have to remember that she self-debuffs. They're not that big of an issue though. Every turn self-debuffing can be a problem as well. But if you're using her with 4 news, look, 4 news removes debuffs. You will remove her debuffs by the end of turn. And for news, you also improve her damage output. She would trigger 3 times that water linkage. She will even buff her SCR by 15%. She lost 15, got 15. She clears her status debuffs. Are you sure? Let me check. It's not ailments. Is it not ailments? Ah, on Overdrive, she also clears attribute debuffs. That's new, yeah. You're right. On Overdrive, she clears. Let's bring Yo-Yo. What do you mean Yo-Yo? But New Goddess is one of the strongest damage dealers too. But I believe Sith is very close. Red Reader. Very close. Second runner, like Goddess. Best damage dealer is Kihachi, no questions asked. And now both are stronger than Tatiana. That was also one of the best damage dealers in the game. Tatiana is like 30% stronger than Neon. I did a math and did run some tests as well. Goddess cannot be full on damage, but she enables BKD combos. And Goddess has that heal plus OG gouge charge, man, and BP decrease. It's insane. While Sith has just her chases and the extra defense boost on Overdrive. But for Remembrance, amazing unit, because she has defenses, she's hard to kill. No, she's actually not hard to kill, it's just standard, right? 110%. Hello, Koreju. Now let's check on Claudia. Claudia has 108. Whoa, that's a big jump, because 73% endurance is too old for now. Endurance 130, agility 107. That's it. Okay. Damage taken decreases by 30. 25% chance to evade. Turn ends has 2 BP, so a total of 5. Weak Heat Up as well. Weak Heat Up, I believe, started in this banner on JP. Or was Razin banner. But was around the time they started to give Weak Heat Ups. What else? Attacks, chases S3. S3 is a triple S power attack that before attacking grants herself 55% attack boost. Okay, and then she chases again with the same skill. That will increase damage even further. Turn begins, critical enhance. Critical enhance gives attack boost, morale up, evade. Yourself and 4 BP. Huh? Ah, okay. Every turn she gets critical enhance, attack boost and morale up. 70% damage increase here. Attack boost is 30, morale up is 40, evade for 1 hit, and then 4 extra BP. If she's on even turns, much like Silver, has this Dream Shot Plus chase. I don't remember what Dream Shot Plus is. I remember Dream Shot being a weak attack. Triple S power now. Buffing dexterity as well. On even turns, so every 2 turns. And then S3. The chase. Ah, the chase has a 50% chance to trigger another chase. Another attack. Tambora. Is this Tambora? Passive? Probably, right? When Emerald Bow hits the target using the effect of this ability, Emerald Bow can happen. 37% chance on JP. Here became 50% chance. It's like Tombola, yes. It's just Pierce though. It doesn't have double element. But seems to be a replacement for a damage dealer on Bow Remembrance. Like if you miss it on Ziling. Or even on Therese. But she doesn't have anything supportive, right? Just a selfish damage dealer. Second skill, Dexterity and Charisma buff, and HP recover to all allies. That's not really bad. This is the Column Rain attack. Forgot the name. Then Pierce. Well, at least the Sun extra effect allows her to get 3 BP from Empress. Don't think she's a very good unit anyway. Because, okay. She does have this chance to activate skill 3 by attack. Damage is good, but it's unreliable though. She has 1 evasion, morale up. Pure damage dealer is hard to slot. For Pierce, the strongest ones we got recently were who? Well, if you think about Sumir, she has 3 chases. She has 1 chase and then maybe another. Well, Sumir beats her. And Sumir gives a lot of other effects. If you pull it for Sumir, no reason to pull for Claudia unless you want her own remembrance. It's an evolving type of damage dealer, but still skippable. Now about Jamu. 97% endurance and then 107% will. 116% dexterity only, 115% agility. But 116% intelligence. He doesn't have spells. He's a debuffer. Okay. So he has 40% damage increase, 30% damage reduction, landing attacks recover BP, 15% attack boost, and a 15% defense boost as well. Now, the attack boost is actually 10. When it's small, it's 10%. When it's defense, it's 15%. But it's to himself and 1 random ally. Very bad. 50% chance to chase with Screwdriver, Gold Conductor, or Accumulative Shot. 50% for each of the chases. So, all of these attacks are strong. I feel like Screwdriver is triple S power, Gold Conductor is triple S power as well. Accumulative Shot is probably triple S power as well. Let me see. 3 different chases with triple S power. Nothing too special as well. Screwdriver, triple S. Can debuff. Golden Conductor can debuff as well. Accumulative Shot can debuff. So, Screwdriver can debuff STR and Agility. Golden Conductor can debuff Intelligence and Will. No, buffs Will. And Accumulative Shot, Dexterity. Yeah, the 3 different status used for damage by the enemy. 4 for STR, Agility, Dexterity, and Intelligence. Yeah, 50% chance for each. He can inherit Screwdriver Plus. I don't know if he can inherit Gold Conductor though, from any of his past styles. Let me check this out. I don't think he has Gold Conductor. He doesn't. And the third one is Accumulative Shot. This is a bow skill. Then he has with his bow style, yes. Jamu has a buff break too. He has that 3-star attack, no? Oh, let me check. I will check. It's the Samsung skill? Samsung? Ah, here. This style of him. It's a 3-star attack, no? Yeah, triple star plus. Yes, thanks, New Flux. Welcome as well. First SS style. Also welcome, New Flux and Doze. Okay, so 50% chance to chase with those skills. All of them have a debuff to the main attribute used by enemies to do damage. The best one is Screwdriver, and he can get it for free as well. Screwdriver is from another style of him. Screw. An S style has Screwdriver. SGR and Agility. Not the best one though, but he doesn't have Cold Conductor anyway. Yeah, the intelligence debuff is missing as a main skill. Anyway, an attack lens, action active E1. No, wait. I have to check this again. He competes with Monica for wanting to hit first. I'll check more about him. I didn't know what he did. Zero idea what he does. Grants thieving knowledge 1 time. The attack hits, following effects are activated. Ah, that's the part where he gives himself and someone else's attack boost. Yeah, the passive is the same as it gives. Crazy. When attack lands, he grants all of this. 6 status debuff. The debuff will be 10% only to the target. And a 15% buff to self. Let me check if it's really 10%. That's strange. Infinity passive? Yeah, theoretically. There's no article for this, Jamu. Debuff of the enemy is 10%. Yes, guys, 10%. Self buff is 15. Basically, everyone that attacks after him gets a 1. But it says it attack lands a 1 time on turn to a random ally. Why it says a random ally? Every one or the first one only? Don't get it. Skill 1 is just E power UE. 10 BP triple S power with paralyze. 10 BP AUE P power. Ah, he can debuff intelligence with skill 3. Nice. Intelligence buff by very large. If there is no intelligence buff. We saw this attack before. Very large. How much is it? 40%. There is a character that had this. I don't remember if it was... Forgot the name. The Black Witch. He can give himself too. He already has himself, no? I'm really confused about this guy. Let me see what SaGa Wiki says about this guy. Oh, true, so this is much worse than I thought. He can give it to someone who already attacked and then is useless. That's why he wants to go first, like Kabi was saying. Evelyn. Yes, I think it was Evelyn. If not Evelyn, someone that had shadow damage as well. So he's totally a jammer. Let me see what they have about Jamu. What were the changes to Jamu again? Jamu changes. Ah, the self and random attack boost. And the increased chances to chase. But those are easy to understand anyway. Here, Jamu. Let me read this. I will have to decrease the size so that you guys can see a little further of the screen. But it got too small. Well, we already know the skills. Jamie's a new style, and almost the same as Alan. In having 37% chance to chase, but they were all buffed in global as well. All these chases debuffs different status from STR to Dexter and Intelligence. Furthermore, Jamie also gains another 10 to 20% status debuff with every attack. Why 10 to 20? Because if he gives to himself, it's lost, right? One random surviving ally can be to himself. Yeah. Hello, Victor. And then if he gives to someone else that has not attacked and it's not him, it's 20%. Every attack. Furthermore, skill tree is a 40% debuff. That is a good response to buff cleansing bosses. Yes and no, because Jamu can also debuff. I don't understand this. No, because if he uses his skill tree first, then yeah, he's going to debuff 40% here. And then he can chase with Screwdriver and then debuff further. Yes, that can reach very high potential. How much is Screwdriver again? Ah, Screwdriver does not debuff intelligence. What debuffs intelligence is the Gold Conductor. Gold Conductor skill. %, because rank 1. So if he gets a chase, it's a 55% intelligence debuff. But that's it. He gives this stuff to himself and to someone else that can be even himself. But it also says one time, so chase attacks won't trigger. Because the way that they were saying here, it says debuff every attack. Would not be the case. Intelligence buff is a good response. Besides that, that's really only agility and debuff the inheritance. Agility and dexterity buff inheritance options. Overall, interesting debuff with pretty good debuff support. Only issue is probably RNG for pickpocketer teachings. Yeah, that he can trigger himself. Yeah, I see. Complicated. You could say whatever you want. That AoE intelligence debuff is nice because it's 40%. It just needed to be fast, but then it will be a little too broken. But then it's also a big of a problem. For example, if you have someone else in your party that can also debuff, this person has to be slower than Jamu. He does not want to be used with any other debuffer. His agility is okay, then he can use this. And stop there. Maybe getting the extra chance. If he gives it to someone else, that person can then give it to someone else as well when they attack. Ah, that is something that haven't happened yet. A passive from a character that triggers on the same turn to someone that can then trigger to someone else. Like a cascade. Good for the delay formation then. He has to go first, man. Main JP player here. See a lot of players using Jamu even now. I never got him, but I'll say that he's pretty useful, says Marshall. Welcome, Marshall, and thanks for clarifying. It's because it's a little strange. Yeah, it's the first time we are seeing this. So this... yeah, the passive triggers itself. So it's infinitive. But since it's... well, actually, if he triggers himself, Neoflux, it's even better. If he chases, that is. If he triggers to himself, and then he chases, he debuffs himself 20%, and then he applies to someone else, probably. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. He debuffs 6 status. He does not debuff what? Love and Charisma. Whatever. That's great. Will Mido have great swords and unarmed or short swords? Mido has short swords. Once it passes to someone that cannot attack, it's over. Yes. Yes, you are right. Like, he can pass on to, for example, someone, and then someone can pass on to himself. And to Jamu again. He already attacked, it's over. That's interesting. Mido JP style has short swords. Yes, short swords. Interesting, guys. Pretty interesting. Let me just see something here super fast. The second skill has triple S power, paralyzes. It's just for remembrance. Like, we are having difficulty with remembrance, right? Abilities are getting more and more complicated to figure out. Yes! When looking at first without understanding, without JP knowledge, it's really crazy. Does Mido have an element or is he non-elemental? From my memory, he's non-elemental. Claudia draw says, was already intending to pass on these banners due to expected timing, but the confirmed timing means I have to pass. Yes. Attack lands on BP, blah blah blah. His chase will also trigger this, but it's just a chance. Sadly, you cannot guarantee that he's going to chase. He's kind of like another character that can defeat the 7 heroes. He is kind of like Asulus is somehow. But if RNG is bad to you, and he triggers himself and does not chase, then you're left with just 10% debuff for that turn, and that can lead to a defeat. People that keep trying to use him, he's probably going to work for 7 heroes. He's full physical. All of his attacks are just physical, so he can be a debuffer there. Cher has to pull for Hawk. Those 14,000 gens are burning a hole in his spot. Oh, okay. But I was planning on pulling for Hawk anyway. Yeah, Jamu is nice. And Marshall said that he's a main JP player and see a lot of people using Jamu even now. I gave Asulus a 5. This guy is probably a 5 then. Or a 4.5 because he's harder to use than Asulus. He is, you have to admit. But he debuffs everything. Asulus debuffs just STR and intelligence. So he takes care of everything. Yes. That's a problem. There's a 7 heroes if I weakness on the end. I never reached it too far. I have no way of knowing if 5 dragons or dragon hiders will be the next week. I don't need time to recover from week 1 spending. I see. I know how it is. He can replace Asulus, totally. I don't think they use the 5 weakness though, Neoflux. Someone else here will have to confirm. Leon says, I think I have only 2 or 3 styles good with S's words. Maybe Rock Bouquet, any another one you don't remember. I see. Also, guys, if anyone wants to support the channel, we are trying to reach 250 USD because we have to pay tomorrow the health plan. Health plan is increased recently because of, you know, getting old. It's nice to get old, but it's not nice to get your health plan increased by close to 25% just because you got older. 22%, I don't know. But it's, yeah, the yearly update together with your anniversary update. Very nice health plan. If I didn't have some problems, I would not even have one. Rock Bouquet helped you a lot on Remembrance. She is a very good one, yeah. If boss is not defied, he cannot debuff the next turn. Why he cannot debuff on the next turn, Flux? Ah, but if you cannot help the channel, as always, just click the like button. We have a lot of people watching this. The more likes we get, the better. Although this channel survives mostly via donations, it also raises and becomes better the more we get likes and comments. So please help if you can. Yeah, Jamu is pretty nice. The thing is, Ocelot's banner was kind of bad. Look at Ocelot's banner. It was just Ocelos. Okay, we had Eerie. That's not really a bad style, but not really great either. And then we had Death and Patrick, 2 disposable styles. Really? Because we have Sith in this banner is better than Ocelot's banner was. That also conflicts my ideas. I wanted to pull for Hulk. Buff decay over 4 turns. But what do you mean that he cannot debuff next turn? Because it's attack lands. He's going to debuff again next turn. You always forget to press the like button. Always helps. I don't hate anyone. Don't worry. That's a strange character, Jamu. I will have to read more about him. Feedback of people that play JP will be appreciated as well. His buffs don't change much about him. He was talking about S3. Ah, okay. Okay. I'm not even considering S3, to be honest, Flux. Just trying to consider a cascade of attacks. What will kill you on 7 heroes will be the Lunar Blade Plus. That is a fast attack. And he doesn't have any fast skill, right? Another problem. That's why Copy said that you need to use Monica formation for this guy. Does he have any fast skill? Oops. Let me get back to him. With any of his styles? Any? Surf Cyclone. Such an old skill. Lage Step does not attack. Floral Cracker is easy to get though. Ah, I have Floral Cracker. Yes, 8 BP. Surf Cyclone is 10. Floral Cracker. That helps. Does he have any other fast skill on JP? Fast is agility on JP. Ah, skill tree is fast by itself. Ah, Hans didn't say that it was fast. It is fast. See, Flux, it's fast. And that changes a lot, actually. Because if already fast, he will debuff 40%. Guaranteed. And then probably 50% and sometimes even more. Yeah, the enemies that don't like to be debuffed will hate Jamu. They will just use a 5 weakness though. That is a very big debuff. Comment on it so that Hans fixes. Let me update here to see if there was any change. Let me see if anyone pointed out as well. Ah, it won't trigger on follow-ups. Unless the RNG goes back to himself. Crazy. That the passive keeps passing on. So what happens, he will also need to RNG follow up to get the benefit, since the buff itself lasts just that turn. Yeah, if he uses the skill, he's going to pass. If he passes to himself and he chases, he can still pass on again. But since they buffed all of his chases to 50% and there are 3 chases, if he buffs himself, there's a very good chance that he can still pass again, unless he double times back to himself. Let me see if anyone said anything here. Okay. He mentioned at the top he was busy and did it quick this week. He said he even posted without the comparisons. This is a very Herculean job, man. I couldn't do this. So he's a very good unit, yeah, I have to agree. Sith is also very strong, passing even Tatiana in damage with double elemental. Anyway, I think he's super unreliable. Yes. Super unreliable. In a very long fight, there will be turns where he will just not do what you need him to do. If it's intelligence that you need, that can be guaranteed. But everything else, no. I think he deserves a 4.5 then, because of the gimmick behind him. Although Acelus just debuffs STR in intelligence, she's more simple. Just needs to go first. Okay, so here we stop with this banner. Albert's replaceable, forget about the guy. Claudia as well. Don't care about Claudia. So for this banner is about Jamu and Sith. Jamu being a little better because he will be used on hard content, and Sith. Well, Sith, if you have Kihachi, you're probably gonna use Kihachi still. That's the only problem with Sith, being a competitor to Kihachi. It has slashing code already. But everyone without Kihachi will love this Sith anyway. Great. Just wish this skill was fast though. I don't think it is, let me check. No, it's not. Hey Sammy, welcome. Jens is his name now? I think there's someone called James and someone called Hans. Those may be 2 different persons. You were wishing for a Sith that has chases, right? Back in the days, yeah. But I cannot pull for all banners. Kihachi making others feel worthless. It's just that when you compare to Kihachi, you have such a high bar, but I don't know, Sith comes too close now. Now about Hulk. This guy is good. They buffed his endurance and will because they were bad. He's a risky type character. But look, on turn 1 he has 0 defense passives. 0. But he was designed so that he uses his skill 2 first. This one is an AoE fast skill that gives an attack boost of extreme effect. I think extreme should be 50%, right? Let me just confirm. Because very large and extreme are sometimes so similar. Yes, it's 50% when you max level. The defense boost is also 50%. So look, this is the same values that you get from ScherBR skill. And he will also buff Will by 50% on max level. Will buff is nice because you will protect yourself versus ailment and debuffs. and also magical attacks. So he uses this so that he has 50%, right? And then, okay, he likes to use it together with Leon, because when he gets hit, he's going to buff his status to get a little further and further. When he is attacked, he himself, he gives himself an attack. Sorry, when he is attacked, he buffs others with attack boost and defense boost, both with 15%. When everyone else are attacked, he then buffs himself. Remember how Joe worked? Latest Joe. It's the same. When she's attacked, something happens. When others are attacked, something happens. Exactly the same values. If the enemy is using an AoE, both will trigger, right? But there is something different here. When others are attacked, he gets a better attack boost and a better defense boost. See? It becomes very large instead of large. The defense boost becomes medium instead of small. On AoE, he benefits more because he needs more since he starts with 0. And when he attacks, he always cheats with skill 1. Skill 1 is a 15% SGR buff attack with deep power. Well, it's pretty weak. It's kind of like, you know, Razen chase. And when he attacks on overdrive, he chases with skill 3. Skill 3 is a much better one. It does S power 10 BP attack that buffs all status for all allies by 30% on command and 20% as chase. Okay. Also, the exclusive to global is that every 6 turns he gets another charge of his skill 2. I actually was hoping that they will make it 2 times and then add a recharge every 5 turns, much like what they did to Al Kaiser, but I was expecting too much. I know. So the thing is, the biggest difference between this guy and Joe is that the buff effects last for 2 turns. So imagine a situation where the enemy attacks like, let's say, even Megalith Dragon. That attacks like, I don't know, 5 times in a turn. He attacks even more, but you're going to stop anyway. So 5 times, and then the effects will stay in the next turn. So in the next turn, you have the 5 defense boost stacked. Not even Joe can do that. But he has the risk of starting weak and then charging all those attack and defense boosts. And he can even give attack and defense boost to everyone to increase it further, to become stronger, and all of that. So, besides all, on turn begins, he gets this leader for 2 times. When being attacked, it is to all allies. When your characters are attacked, they can get as much as 2 stacks of 15 points of OG Gorge. And then an attack boost, and in this case it's large, it should be 20%. For 2 turns they can also stack, so up to 40%. And then up to 30% points of OG Gorge. He also gets 2 BP. And every 3 turns he recovers HP of everyone by around 1.2 thousand and gives between 3 to 7 BP to all allies. So he has a little bit of everything. He doesn't have very good damage, but he has buffs, he has attack and defense boosts, he generates OG, he generates BP, and he has heat up, yeah, extreme, 150% from this. His damage is just okay. A little better than Leon, but nothing much more than that. The amount of defense boost that he can give to the party is amazing, but look that on turn 1 there's 0. Not even from a passive, like, I don't know, defense boost every turn. No, you start weak. You use skill 2, and then you hope that he keeps triggering by being hit. Rainstorm says, you want Jamu for a future Ren fight. Oh yeah? Which Ren fight? Rainstorm says you don't need to be fast if you're under OD. That's right, but you cannot OG every turn. Don't forget that Sith can buffs will. Ah, yeah, if I use that skill that I use it for so long. Emerald Meryl says, if I have latest Asus, I don't need Jamu. Basically. So he's like Hilda. But Hilda only keeps buffs for 1 turn, just a turn where she is triggering. So much weaker. This guy carries for the next turn, so you will be starting, for example, with 5 boosts, and then you will be getting more and more and more, and then you keep 5 boosts for the next turn. That's much better than Joe in Hilda on the long term. Cher is rationalizing what he will pull for. Yeah. Have you read Yappy post? No, I will later. I will read his posts later. It's like many chains attacks. Boom, boom, boom. At least he can attack 3 times on OG. If he's placed it on squads with people like Katarina that needs you to attack to trigger something, that works well for him. But I was wanting to get this guy because he's the door to clearing Megalith Dragon 5. With Hawk you can. He can even inherit a counter attack that I have been discussing so much. That is Militant Slash. That will allow him to buff Will with a fast AoE attack. He will also chase. And then he enters a defensive counter stance. And he counters with Savage Slash. That buffs STR. So 5 EP only, he can keep using this whenever he wants. He can be your main defense booster and your main counter for Megalith Dragon. Scroll up, Hawk to mention in you, writing hand's name wrong and had it. Ah! Ah, sorry. But he replied to me. It's because there is a hands and a gens. Thank you. Fix it. Okay. Sorry, guys. No, Pretinha, no. It's gonna scratch me. Stay quiet. It's a roadblocker fight where you need a land stun on bosses with a fast skill, you mean? Okay, but that's a good thing about Hawk. He can give you lots of defense boosts. It's Pretinha. Pretinha likes to jump in the mid of streams and videos. All the time, right? But then, okay, every 6 turns he gets a recharge of this skill, so overall, it lasts for 3 turns, and he gets it every 6 turns. It means that you have it active half of the time. Next one is great, and they buffed his STR to reach Kihachi's level, 140. Endurance 105, agility and will 100, just average besides STR. This guy is a slash booster. Much like we have elemental boosters, this guy boosts slash damage. See, he has a 30% damage decrease to himself, and then another 40 if he resists. And for damage, let's see how much he has. There is weak heat up. It's normal 20, right? 100, then 150. Yeah, 150, 170%, no, 180% damage increase on turn 5 onwards. And he gives this elemental enhanced slash to self. 40 was to everyone. Let me check this out again. With Saruin, who debuff slash defense could be good. So Saruin already decreases his slash defense. Ah, when attacking with slash, self buff and buffs slash for everyone. Swordsman mentor. Self. Swordsman mentor to all surviving allies. Ah, yeah, because he has to use it as a second skill. Say slash is an element. Yeah, it is. You will try to land stun with the other party members, says Rainstorm. Okay. Black cat hairs on white clothes is the best. There's a YouTuber on Brazil that his microphone is full of white cat fur. Banners are a snooze fast, give us Seb. Yes, kind of boring somehow, yeah. So this is to give himself, and then look, elemental enhance to all allies, including himself, right? Yeah, so he's gonna have it twice. So, what is teaching off swordsman? On a slash attack, he will buff himself for STR dexterity intelligence by, in his case, 5%, but it's actually 10 because he triggers it twice. The attack boost will be to all allies. Self buff, but attack boost to all allies, right? Yes, the attack boost large for AoE is 15%. 15% to everyone. Okay. But you have to use a slash to trigger this. But see how inferior this is to real elemental squads? Well, real elemental squads give 45%, like for news. When someone uses a cold attack, they will increase cold attack by 45%. Here, this attack boost will work for all elements, but you have to use a slash attack to trigger a 15% increase. It is much weaker. The 5% buff is not high as well. But there's no limit to the number of triggers. So Kihachi can trigger 3 times, for example. And when attacking, activates Gravedigger Plus. What is Gravedigger Plus? This is an old skill, no? And it's Gravedigger Plus again because of 270 Spiral. Oh gosh. All characters designed like this. Be power only. And then 50% chance to chase with Aksha Flash. 4 as power slash and cold attack. Ah, okay. Elegant Ice Flower. Row attack is the same one that he had before with a chase. With a charge. A guarantee B power and a 50% chance for 4 S power. What a big distance. Okay, Gray. Then he has first skill, it's sheep row attack. Third one attacks twice with attack boost, but in this case it reaches higher 20% up. 20% to all allies for each attack. Can he be used on farming? It's a row attack just. I don't know, guys. Don't feel like he's going to stay relevant. But he had a very high grading on JP. Not really, really high. Let me check if he's still in some grade here for JP. Don't think he will be. He is a tier 2 character. Right beside Sumir. Strange. Or Sumir was buffed. Even Silver was much buffed. What they changed was just to give him a 50% extra damage to slash and a 10% increase in total damage. Also, useful didn't clear floor 270. Yeah, but there's so many characters from this banner are useful for 270. Attack boost characters are not relevant enough, says Semi. It's because it's 15% and not 45. I don't know, he doesn't give anything to the party, and Sumir gives... I'll totally skip this Gray. Moving to Aisha, they buffed her Enrance because it was bad. Will to 100 and Agility to 106. She has some dexterity because of her S word style. Battle begins, she gives Earth Mother's Blessing. Turn begins, all buffs by 15% and attack boost. Because this is something that she can cast again. It starts working for free for 1 turn and then you cast. And that will buff all status by 15% and give this attack boost very large, should be 30%, right? Extra large is 30%. Yeah, 30% attack boost to everyone. So Stranger only have 272 longer to clear for JP. It was not that hard. It wasn't. But I don't know, maybe the damage was different there. Cher says he doesn't want new gray. He might have no say in the matter. But I was actually thinking about pulling on this banner because of Hawk. Okay, let's see. Attack boost, okay. Then activates Flame Hawk on all attacks. Flame Hawk Plus, it's an interesting skill. Flame Hawk Plus, it is an amplify for an old attack. And it now debuffs both SGR and Dexterity by 10%. And it's so that she can also use a skill 3 that already debuffs by 20. And then you debuff extra 10 via the chase. So you'll be debuffing 30%. With a 9 BP skill. That is both slash and hit. It's okay. Nothing really stellar. Then a 37% chance only to activate skill 3. So in that case, you'll be debuffing again. But 15%, right? On rank 1 is 15%. Yeah. So you can debuff as much as 45% STR in debuff with Asian. At least the skill is fast. Yeah, really helps. Really helps. Another row attacker. Another one made for SPAR 170. 270. Another one. What is her intelligence? 100%. Not really that high. On overdrive attack, Shield then applies defensive stance to all allies. For just one turn? Ew. Large effect. This one here should be 35, no? Because it's different. If it's not, it's 30. Turn ends, buffs own gouge by 25 points of OG gouge. Attack lands, recover herself, gets BP, defense down. 2 turns. Ah, that's good. 2 turns. Can stack, but she triggers 2 times, 10%. Dexterity debuff medium. Should be 10%, right? %. Damage taken decreases by 30, and if it's skill based by another 40. Okay, so I was actually thinking about summoning for this Aisha by accident, and then inherit this second skill into her past one. That is more of a healer. But I guess Darius already heals enough, so I will actually probably just skip Aisha design. If I get her, okay, but if not, no worries. Not really good as well. Sith is much better as an X unit. And Hawk as well. She's just a bonus. You want Grey, Hawkto. I see. The last one is Barbara. Whoa, she had only 66% endurance, now 93. Will is 103%. Intelligence 120 because she can use spells. Yeah, skill 1 and 3 are spell. So she evades 1 time for 1 turn. The first hit, it's evasion. But turn begins. Yeah, the first hit will be evaded. And then she has a 50% chance to get another evasion. She gets also 2 BP. Turn ends. If no damage... yeah. This character here is like Cat in Alv. She applies many effects to the party if she does not get damage. In her case, it's better that she is based on evasion, not just damage block. But there's still some problems. She has an innate 25% chance to evade any hit, and you have to remember that you always triggers this type of evasion first. So if it triggers, you don't use the first evasion. She has a 50% chance to evade, so even then, it's not a guarantee. chance to get more chases will come from using skill tree. That is a very bad skill. It attacks 2 times with a 50% chance to grant evasion in each attack. But it's also in line to what Goddess was. Remember, Goddess had a 25% chance to give evasion with each hit. It was 4 hits. Here is 2 hits with 50%. Kind of similar. She has this recovery AoE fast skill that recovers HP and evades. Pretty much like Maria type. So this cannot be recharged. Yeah, cannot be recharged 2 times. It is hard to keep her in check. Depends on boss behavior as well. I believe she works super well with Sumir, that has damage block. And also Buni, that has damage block as well. But even then, it's hard to keep this up. But if she does not take damage, look, she will recover HP for everyone by around 1.2000, 1 extra BP, 15 points of OG Gauge, and then a Morale up, very large, that is 50% increase, a Guard up, large, that is a 35% damage reduction, an attack boost that increases damage by another 30, a total of 70, defense boost that increases damage taken by 25%, this lasts for 2 turns, and all buffs 20% for all allies. It is a little bit of everything, but to be honest, I don't really like this. She only offers stuff to the party if this happens. There's nothing that is working all the time, like, I don't know, 20% damage reduction. It already works all the time. You have to allow her to block to trigger this all. Her skills are very bad. Like the skill tree will not do damage. The skill that recovers and also applies evasion is nice, but it may not be enough. If an enemy attacks 5 times, you're going to get damage. And in those turns, you're not getting anything. She also has a 50% chance to block spells and shadow attacks. That can be interesting for specific fights, right? Let me check here. But people have been using Cat, and I haven't. I just don't like RNG-based characters. Even, I know, I play SaGa. %50 chance to block magical attacks, and 50% chance to block damages with shadow. Still a chance. In practice, Cat almost never gets hit. But Cat has even more chances to block it all, right? Barbara has a little less, no? Cat has stealth. She already has 1 damage block. And a 50% chance to evade all the time. All the time. Her skill tree, she attacks 2 times as well, with the same chance to her evasion. And she has a chance to change with this skill as well. Yeah, I don't know, man. Depends on behavior of a boss fight. Three attacks is okay, but more than 3 attacks, I'm not using Cat or Barbara. I don't know. What do you say? Even after 3 attacks, sometimes it won't trigger. Enemy uses 3 AoEs. You have 50% chance, and then you have 2 guarantee evasions. Something may trigger. Like 3rd hit can land. I don't know. I feel like she's more of a gimmick character, like Cat and all. Cat was temporarily good. What she offers will probably be offered by other characters without having to guarantee that damage block and trigger. So these banners are kind of strange, guys. First banner has Sith and Jamu as the best ones. Second banner has Hulk. And that's Hulk. Really, really average characters here. Besides Hawk, Sith, and Jamu. 3 units out of 8. Summoning for Hawk is bad because it's just Hawk in the banner that really matters. I know some people may take advantage of Barbar stuff, but I still don't think it's too good. And then from Albert banner is Sith and Jamu. If you consider that there are 2 very useful styles in one banner and just 1 useful style in the other, what should you do? Rasmus says apparently they stack to 100 if it's a shadow spell, so you always block. Or 2 chances of 50%, but I don't know if it's stacked to 100. 8 styles, 5 are slash and 3 are X. It's like high risk and low reward, says Capivara. It's gotta use her versus spells and shadow bosses. Okay. Hawk and Grey are your targets. You really want Grey, Neoflux? Are you because is it because you are a fan or what? Because Grey buffs attack boost when using slash. It is easy to use slash, but I don't know, it's just 15% attack boost. Can that stack too much? Remember Khalid? Khalid does not give them any attack boosts. He increases damage if you are decreasing the defense of the enemy and using the right elements, but just the attack boosts from Khalid didn't affect much. Did the Aksha Flash get our imp? I don't know. Don't think so. Oh, yeah, Aksha Flash got, no. This one here, right? It's already on global, no? Hawk feels like I got a pull just cause Torpe cannot seem to hold up in Megalith 5 for you, at least. Yeah, if you care about Megalith, pulling for Hawk is almost mandatory. Yeah, Yaksha Flash is already upgraded. Easy to get slash team with versus off chases. Just Sumir gives 180% with inherit. You're talking about her 6 attacks, right? And that lasts for 2 turns, no? Yeah, lasts for 2 turns. Still, because it's just 15%, Neo, I believe this can easily be upgraded in the future. He needed to have a slash damage increase in his trigger. A 45% increase, not a 15%. Someone else in the future will get something similar. That will be 45 instead of 15. But you're pulling for a Hawk and using a ticket. Everything's upgraded in the future to be on. Yeah. Loses land and Building damage block cancel out each other, or does one cat carry to the next? Cats carry to the next. So that you block turn 2 and 3. We're gonna run as Lana and Building together. Let me just go to the bathroom, guys. If you want to say something about these banners and if you're going to pull your opinions, Okay, I'm back. ScherBR possesses again. This time no one might try some for Sith and Jamu, but building banner wronged you. You were saying that you did 14 pulls and didn't get anything, right? I was thinking about pulling for a Hawk, but I don't know, man. Unless I get the character super fast, I will think about check everything again and all. We also discussed about 100 and something attack boosts with Kali Neoflux. I suspect that won't be so much of an improvement, especially because in the end, Ray does not offer anything else, just those small buffs. They are just offensive. I don't know. I don't want Get Gray. It's just about Hawk. Aisha will make my past Aisha better, but I really feel like I don't need to use that Aisha anymore. But I was planning, I even talked to you about this idea of bringing this skill to the past Aisha. This Earth Mother Blessing. Because it buffs everyone's status by 15% and gives his attack boost. It's free stuff, right? Past Station is the best healer for X, but do you need that much? I don't know. Lobonox says I cannot even win any of the 4th anniversary attacks. I have been in hope and pulling anything useful for that purposes. Really? The 4th anniversary attacks? You mean the normal characters that you can fight? They were so easy if you have a counter. But overall, Albert is a skip, I believe. Claudia is a skip, even though if you can use it. Jamu is an okay character, very good one. I would say a 4.5. Albert is a 3 or 3.5. Sith is a 4.5. Claudia is a 3.5. Hawk, he's a 4.5. Gray is a 3.5 or a 4. I'm not sure. Aisha is a 3. Barber is a 3. Hawk is probably enough for hard 5, you'll see. Yes, he's enough, I'm sure, Newflux. I'm sure he's enough. I can already see the winning. Now we can read the comments here. Also, again, if anyone wants to support the channel, we are trying to reach a midterm goal to pay the health plan. If anyone wants to help, you can use the links in the description. You can send a message with your donation that will appear on the top. But if you cannot, click the like button. We have lots of people watching. This certainly helps keep getting notifications sent in the future. Hawk certainly is not enough if you don't have another tank. You mean another tank, or if you don't have another defense boosters? There's 0 chance he can tank himself. But I will have to inherit the counter attack. He has no defense. From turn 2 onwards, he already has defense. He won't die on turn 1. Maybe need to look into a video for some winning team. I had only a live stream for that event because it was too fast. But now reading the comments, guys. Nasho says, thanks, and as always, Hawk banner seems really good for X Remembrance. I will wait for the 3rd round before pulling here. Good luck. First ability of Claudia has more effect. One more follow-up, you think. Hence fix it. Appreciate the details. Indeed. Are some of the better skills to inherit to the Hawk banner characters? Earth's Blessing for Aisha? Yeah, Earth's Blessing. Earth's Blessing gives what again? End of turn recover. Heat up and defense up, but just 5%. 5%. Defense up. Warn up for Barbara. Barbara has a skill called Warn Up. Why would Barbara use something else besides her skill tree? More BP. That's right. And it's a platinum style. Makes total sense. Agreed. Hawk has a style non-off banner pool that has the Great Axe Flash for when Remembrance Hard Boss number 3 or Frog Waters came out, or Militant Slash if we need an X counter, but he's not naturally tanking. That's right, but he eventually becomes. That's not a platinum style? Worn Up is not from the Platinum. I thought it was a second Platinum. It's not, you are right. It's from the same banner that has the Militant Slash from Hawk. A banner I skip it. Nothing much for Grey. Yeah. Yaksha Flash would be the best. Albert A2, start off round buff was buffed from 3 to 5. You don't have the duration listed on the moment. Yeah, this helps so that you can trigger some of his effects twice. Helps with the ailment resistance if you are running a Sun squad. I forgot to mention that. We're all some decent styles here, but Hawk banner is probably the big one. Albert was fairly neglected buff-wise. Meanwhile, Hawk got a solid buff while he's really good. And those who haven't passed 270 Spiral yet can do so with Grey, who's being buffed big. Many cards here are designed after 270. Just to know, has more banners or just his banner? 2 banners. Barba have the Allegria skill, but you want to attack with her. Makes sense. Hawk will die on turn 2. We'll see, Zadok. Thank you. I think leaving the details preview like this without... Okay, he was just saying that people want to be simplified. Yeah, if he lands on attack on a unit that has already acted, it's just wasted. His agility should have been higher, like 130% to be better. He's a core character for Dragon 5, but not as the main tank. I don't have a main tank. I have to make it work. Let's see Yappy opinion on this, guys. I see that he already posted. Okay, what is his opinion on Albert? Albert's a nice addition to Sun Team through. I'm not fond of the RNG defense boost from his passives activating after skill 3. His ability to provide offensive buff after being hit complements counters like Final Impress. Final Emperor, I mean. Yeah, he said Impress, but it's Emperor and Julian. It may, however, be difficult to spot in the party if one has already pulled for latest Leon, Sheree, and Impress. With having too many supports in the party, not dealing enough damage to end the fight. Yeah, I totally agree with this. Sith. Sith is a simple XCPS. She will mostly find use on Remembrance battles, although she may have some synergy with the last 4 news for Cold Elemental Party. Yeah, for New Silver, Kihachi. Next one, Claudia. Claudia role will be similar to Bannermate Sith. She's pure bold DPS and will find use mostly on Remembrance. I feel like Claudia is locked to Remembrance technically, while Sith does have utility outside Remembrance. I think there's I don't know. Then Jamu, he said, Jamu uses S-worthy buffer who will find use in Remembrance, particularly for upcoming Remembrance battle with Roadblocker. His ability to debuff status will be useful to help party land a stun on the bosses, which is a mechanic for that fight. Of course, despite future content as a global version, things may change, or we may get more buffs to future styles, so take this with a pinch of salt. I see. Nora will be the tank. Ah, haha, of course. Hope you get him early just so that you don't regret pitting him. Oh, no. Well, he's the only one that will allow people to beat content on Remembrance that hasn't. Like, no other style will help as much. Hawk is an ex-attacker. Hawk is one of the highlights of the banner. Is the highlight of the banner. It has received a major buff. His S2 can now be Refresher, albeit it takes 6 turns for the refresh. His passive, similar to Joe's Flame Force, is fantastic for party mitigation while providing offensive buffs. Besides the Remembrance battle, he will also be good for some high difficulty boss fights. Yes, but we have to mention that it's 2 turns. Options for inheritance includes Militant Slash. That will be useful versus Megalith Dragon. You don't enjoy rain anyways, it's a chore. Sometimes it is, man. Sometimes it is. And right now it felt too overpowered. Gray. Gray has 9 slash DPS. He'll help you shorten fights on Remembrance. Of course, also contributes to boss fights which are weak to slash. Of course. But he's not really strong in boss fights. For those who have yet to clear Spiral 270 and it didn't get Sumir, Gray help. Okay. Aisha. Aisha is basically an Axe support and we do not find much use outside of Remembrance. Inheritance options includes double Axe Rush and Tangle for Stun. Barbara. Very nice spear support, as long as she does not take damage. To the end, she does have a lot of tools to prevent herself from taking damage, much like latest cat. Further, she will be good against bosses that predominantly cast spells and or shadow attacks. Inheritance options includes Dark Wash or Stardust. If buff removal is required, otherwise she should be casting S3 to activate the evasions. Indeed. Overall, Hawkbanner proves a higher volley, and Barber is very good as well for Spear. And Grey Nation are nice bonuses. I'm not so sure if Barber is that good, but I didn't use Cat as well. Also, we have a 50 may remember that Grey will help on the new Final Island. We have to remember. He'll help why? Because of extra damage? What do you get from that Final Island? Thank you for the post. Now that we know what styles are imminent, would you say that the current 4 news banner is a must pull or is it still skippable? That is a good question, friends. Now we shall discuss with the idea of those banners running. I only see 3 very useful styles here. I really don't like pulling for a character like Barbara because I can see that they will release someone that will offer exactly what Barbara does offer without the gimmick of having to block. So it won't take much time. Even if you use her right now saying that, okay, she's amazing because I managed to block, I don't think she's going to be very useful. So, oops, I'm on Yappy post again. Overall, I still believe that the real champions here are just Sith, Jamu, and Hawk. It's funny that in the 4th anniversary banners, even though we complain it a lot, these banners are better. Like, Goddess damage is pretty much stellar, and she has 2 elements. Silence being the less impactful unit here. Silver is better than most of the other characters that we have in these banners as well. And she's the less interesting of the other side. News is better defensively than any other unit besides Hawk. Sumir is both offense and support. Like, much better than Rey. Beauty has a gimmick and can be useful on stages that are over... underbalanced. So I don't know. I won't say that any of these new banners are better than this one. Yeah, Beauty banner is slightly, but very slightly better than for News and Sumir. Still summoning for Hawk because you like the character. Makes sense. RS1 styles are usually proto styles. Do you really? Ash says the next Premiere will go well with Darius and Hawk. Next Premiere? Is she here on the tier list? Premiere. Not here. Is she on Naurama Saga? Ah, she is. EV, defense up. Switch counter attack. OG Gorge. OG Gorge, provoke, damage block. Ah, you say that you'll be using her as your tank. Silence is good for OG burst gimmicks. Yeah, I just don't feel like he's going to stay relevant for too long, but he's good. Now it's amazing. Gary benefits from Front News as well. Gray, you mean? Gary. Great, yeah. Kills Piper was saying that I'm skipping these banners a little underwhelming. I'm going for the next Premiere to upgrade your access probably. I see. She gives defense boost for 2 turns. That's nice. She's going to get into her dive every 2 turns anyway. Back boost. For hints. Which banner is she? Ah, but that's not really a banner I'll be pulling for, I believe. Liza with a maid costume. What are they doing? It is a little underwhelming summoning for 4 units. With pay gens, this is bad, guys. If you want to pull on these banners with pay gens, it means that you have lower chance of getting what you want. If it's a 3 character banner and you are using paid gens, you actually have better chances of getting good stuff. Here you have to spread the chances on bad styles or just average styles. You prefer Premier with the Spear? I used her with the Spear and an Axe on SaGa Frontier 2. Fake banners, there are no SS in then, says JPrag. Really? I don't know. I feel like I could skip all banners. I feel like I may regret pulling for Sith because she's just pure damage and nothing cool. I wanted to play with Silver because she felt different. Sith just feels like an underpowered Kihachi. Underpowered Kihachi that adds nothing besides damage. Yeah, there is a defense boost of large effect on overdrive, but okay, she takes 2 turns to get into overdrive. And the defense boost is just for 1 turn anyway. And all the other units here are just strange. Jamu really didn't want to pull here. We'll see. With less tiles to get, it also means that you can get more dubs. Yes. I will not get all SaGa Frontier 2 styles for sure, but I must get Gustav, Johan, and Gustave. Because I have, yeah, good styles of them. Let's see. So, guys, I will be finishing this stream in a few. What do you say about the grades for these banners? I would say that Hulk banner is a silver award. Or do you feel like it's silver plus as well, just with worse units? Albert banner is silver, and Hulk banner is silver to me. I don't know. Completely skippable. Overvalued Hulk. Sith and Jamu are decent. Okay. I think none of them are a must. Then better skip. Most people can skip. I feel like those that will pull will think about Remembrance and they will go after Jamu and Hulk. Even if Sith is good, other damage dealers can be used in her place, and she doesn't have much to offer to the party. I feel like I will be giving a silver to both, and then highlight the styles I mentioned already. Sith, Hulk, and Jamu. Hulk is tier 1 on the GP website. Yes, and he's even better on global. But there they use the tier 0 as well. He's here. I feel like he's really good. And I cannot pull on 2 banners. Hulk getting a 4.5 is nice. Where is Jamu here on this? Not even on the tier 2? But that's incredible. Valentine's going to be the most painful double banner. You pull for those banners, right? He's not here. He really is not here, yeah. I feel like people should use Jamu first, see videos of Jamu running, and then decide later. If I'm going to pull, it will only be for Hulk until I get the guy, and then I'll just wait. Mr. Ishikawa needs to give us some free jewels. But because look, Jamu changes were just to apply attack and defense boosts to random people. And the 50% chance to chase. But everything else is the same. It's not a extremely big change. And they don't like him as much. It's not here. There's this girl here as well for X, right? The upgraded chances to chase are huge for Jamu. because he stops being a hinder if he passes the skill to himself, right? There's a very big chance that he's going to chase at least once. At least Mir and Tatiana are all in the same banner. Yeah. Tatiana banner I'll be pulling for. Because it's another one that will help me with Remembrance. Well, only Hulk will help me with Remembrance if I'm going to pull, gonna pull for him. And then Tatiana banner I'll be pulling because of Tati and Hana. She's mostly a damage dealer, right? Buffs, attack. Ah, she gives a defense boost as well, but just one turn. You. Clear the X unit we need is Faye from Saga 3, which is now skipping the lead. Too powerful. uh, back to the list, guys. Anyone else to say? Do you think I should consider Barbara as a better character? And something else? Would you agree with the silver award for both? A slightly lower award for these banners when compared to Beauty and for News. Dolores is for the Sarun team. Works well with Kihanchi too. I see, Rainstorm. What do you think about these banners here? Are they skippable for you? Just Hawk as a target? I feel like they should mix up the protagonist weapons a bit more. Mumu says Skipperu. I think Hawk should be better than Jamu's banner. Apple Gun says. Well, what is the second best character from Hawk banner? Is it Gray? What do you think, Neoflux? I feel like you will be pulling for Gray as well, right? Anyone think it's good enough? Apple Gun says it's Barbara. Versus spell based or shadow based, right? But I don't know, man. I feel like a turn where she doesn't trigger her stuff is just a waste, and she doesn't do anything if she's not blocking. She's not triggering that skill. But I'll have to consider that. Claudia doesn't always have to be bow, does she? Always. She doesn't use anything else. Some other characters change weapons. But I should consider. Anyone else has opinion? Type something. I want to hear more people opinion. I feel like Keisha is just a bonus if I pull for Hawk banner. I'll probably use Gray if I get him, but I don't think he is going to increase damage by too much. If only he had something else. Barbara at least have a lot of good inheritances, maybe. If Jamie's the only one alive, does he keep chasing? Yeah. I mean, chasing or giving the passive to himself. But then if he does not chase, it doesn't work. Barbara with the staff could be interesting. Could make sense. Even since I don't know. I feel like some of these buffs were not big enough. They could be a little more stronger. Add more effects. Revamp units entirely. Like, they could create gray slash damage boost instead of attack boost. Heals faster. They are okay banners for hard remembrance, but not great if that's not your goal. They're only silver if you're going for Ren, in your opinion. I see. Overall, I feel like the Bune and Silver banner left a better impression on me. Even if they were just New Year's styles and all. Besides Hawk, of course. You're skipping both banners and maybe going back for silver tip win. Okay. Friends, I have an appointment in a few, so as it seems like no one else wants to say anything, if you have anything to say, please tag me on Discord. If you are not there yet, please click the like and join the Discord server with the link on the description. And tag me if you want to say something. I'll be making a preview video. I don't know if I'll be able to make just one big video. I want to do that in the future, but since there are 8 units, I think I will do Albert banner first, and tomorrow by the morning, the other banner. And then the full reviews will come later. But I feel like this is something that will work. At least one banner in the next hours, okay? 45-minute preview. Cannot make that yet. The preview has to be short. Some people don't watch full reviews. That's why the previews exist. But, my friends, I want to thank you all. I don't know if I'll be pulling for a Hawk on day 1. I'll wait to see if they are going to give us too many gens. If not, I'll wait to decide probably. I'm not going to pull for Albert Banner just because of that Jamu. I will hold myself. At least. Okay. Friends, there's still more anniversary stuff coming up. So if you are unsure, wait 1 week. That is the best course of action. I just want to thank you all for being here as always. Thank you so much. And don't forget to click the like button. And I see you soon in the next video or live stream. A video will come, like I said, in the next hours, probably 3 to 4 hours, before I go to sleep. But that's it for now. Goodbye. Thank you.